So, with all of this going on, how to approach the selection of a customer interaction platform. From our experience, we suggest you don't choose a platform based purely on the website feature and function. If you look at the mid-tier platform providers, they're typically very similar with their feature and function. We urge retailers to consider which platforms can truly provide a joined-up cross-channel solution. In our experience, there are 4 key factors. First, we recommend a top-down approach with support from the Chief Executive and a steering committee. Often ERP projects, everybody acknowledges that they're transformational, but we're seeing cross-channel projects are equally so. Recognise this up front and ensure top-level sponsorship to address any organisational issues that arise. Next, you need to apply vision. This needs to be an enterprise-wide vision to change the objective from just we want to sell or sell more online. So we want to serve our customers whenever, wherever and however they want. Replatforming has to engage a much broader set of stakeholders in order to scope the challenges and the resulting requirements. Next, retailers need to embrace transformation. Sadly, there's no hiding from it. In a platform replacement project, there will be transformation of skills, of metrics, of organisational structure, business processes, technology, stakeholder relationships and budget. Retailers need to have a set of business processes that will position them for growth and address the new generation of cross-channel customers for whom the internet isn't technology, it's just a normal part of their world. And lastly, there are a number of technical aspects that you need to get right. Retailers need to develop a new set of enterprise-wide capabilities tied to a new multi-channel, highly integrated operating model. Replatforming needs to be considered as foundational to the multi-channel business model. For example, a holistic view of inventory so that you can seamlessly address customer demand across all channels. Flexibility in order management to capture, view and amend orders in progress from any location. Also flexibility in order fulfilment to automate and optimise fulfilment of orders out of an increasingly complex supply chain, which could include direct fulfilment warehouses, dropship vendors, third-party providers and store fulfilment. Also holistic customer profiles and engagement history so that you can collate, profile and personalise the customer shopping experience. Multi-channel pricing and promotions to provide consistent prices and promotions across all channels. Multi-channel content management to make sure that all of the content is consistent across channels. And lastly, being able to leverage customer self-service and customer-facing capabilities across channels. For example, being able to reuse review content, search and recommendations. So, what does all of that mean for those of you looking for a new commerce platform? It actually means you need to look for a customer interaction platform, which will enable customers to interact with your brand across all of these 1,500 potential shopping paths available via the combination of channel options and stages of the shopping process. So, the 3 main options are, first off, choosing an on-premise software platform. These can be implemented and run either in-house or by an outsourced partner. This option we find offers most flexibility over time. Next, you could look at a hosted or managed platform where this is implemented by the vendor and run on behalf of the client. Lastly, a software as a service platform. This can typically cost less, they have shared development and support amongst customers, and it can be fast to implement. However, this option lacks flexibility and control. And finally, so what's the prize for getting it right? Cross-channel customers, we all know this, they do spend more. Cross-channel shoppers are more loyal and they're better advocates for your brand. And of course, online is still growing. But what happens if you get it wrong? poor decisions to develop tactical platforms have caused issues and sleepless nights for many retailers. When we're talking to retailers, we often use the phrase a platform for life. While we don't literally mean life, no one could imagine keeping a piece of software until they're 90-odd. The analogy is to illustrate that taking the longer view will change the relative importance of certain criteria and therefore the decision the retailers make. Apologies, I tried to find this quote. I think it's Warren Buffett, and I'm going to paraphrase, but if it isn't, or if anybody knows where I can find it, please let me know. I think Warren Buffett said, if you knew you could only buy one car, when you went and that car had to last your whole life, when you went shopping to choose that car, you'd have a very different set of requirements than most of us do. So we urge retailers to go into this thinking that they're going to need this platform for up to 10 years typically. So go into it thinking about what you potentially will need out of it over that type of time frame. Many retailers have got very fed up. They've gone through repeated platform replacement projects. Their feedback to us is that it can be very hard to differentiate between the mid-tier UK platform providers in terms of this whole feature function. And they realise that most of those solutions are very tactical. And what happens if you get it right? We recommend that you work with a partner who will take responsibility for the whole thing. It's not just about the platform, it's about all of the integration as well, all of the relationships that exist in providing that joined up service for your customers. As a case in point, we suggest you look at Halfords. We've been working with Halfords to implement their e-commerce and multi-channel strategy since 2005. They looked at replacement e-commerce platforms at that time and decided to invest in a customer interaction platform as they had wider multi- and cross-channel aspirations. The initial implementation was a website because they needed to replace their previous website very quickly, and that was achieved in 3 months. Website sales increased 250% within the first few months. They've added many other capabilities in the last 4 to 5 years. For example, Reserve and Collect. Since we implemented Reserve and Collect with Halfords, they've done more than 1 million reservations, and their multi-channel revenues, I think in the last financial year they quoted, had increased by 90%. That was up to April 2009. In September last year, the Text and Reserve service was added, allowing customers to look up products, locate their nearest store that stocks the recommended product, reserve the item for collection, all using the SMS service on their mobile phone. This year we've added another capability called free delivery to store, which provides customers with a wider range of products than they can potentially get from their local store. We believe all of this represents a .com first, just having this number of offerings. We haven't seen any other UK retailers with that breadth of capability.